Welcome back to the show. Now let's get high with some music, dance and yes, the odd question or two. Now WikiLeaks has grabbed every eyeball in the revelations of the governments around the world. But what would the common man do if his dirty secrets got out? Well, I've got you thinking. Now let's see what a few people from Dublin had to say. How would you react and what would you do?
I wouldn't bother about it because my wife trusts me. I don't care a damn about it. That's it. We are both faithful to each other. That is more important, okay?
Oh, you've taken the romantic route, is it? So you think that something romantic would get revealed?
Something?
Do you think something romantic would get revealed?
Yeah, fine. No problem. No problem at all.
You're okay with it?
Yes.
If it's acceptable by me, I'll take it. Otherwise, I won't take it.
And what does your wife have to say about that?
Same.
Yeah. If it's acceptable, you'll answer it. Is that the diplomatic answer?
Well, that's the best answer, I guess.
All right, fair enough.
My wife next to me.
Okay, so that's why you're not answering. Because your wife is. Wait, let me push her aside again.
And I move like this. Yeah.
Of it, because if you're getting publicity, or I mean, even if it's private stuff, I think it's good because you're getting a chance to show what you are. And I don't think I have any private stuff to hide from people. So if they want to make it a WikiLeaks, then I'm happy about it because I think it's fun. Yeah.
No secret bank balances that you wouldn't want the government to know about?
No.
No tax payments that you've skipped?
No, I'm a good citizen.
I don't know about that. On to our next story. Now, in March 2001, after much pointless firing, the Taliban militia destroyed two of the world's largest Buddha statues in the valley of Bamiyan, Afghanistan. Far away in Japan, people felt the loss and emotions of that. December 2010, the parallels between Afghanistan and Japan come together in a unique and soul-stirring experience titled Burqa Bondage. Brought to India for the first time by the Goethe Institute, I take you to Sir Mutta Venkata Subbarao Concert Hall for this unique experience. Two women, one in a kimono and the other in a red burqa. The setting, a suspended cube with video animation, white fabric and ropes. A lot of them. Goethe Institute, known for bringing into the city contemporary acts, is now taking a bold step with this act.
The choreographer, Mrs. Helena Waldmann, made in Afghanistan as well as in Japan. In Afghanistan, it's the people, the female people who wear sometimes burqas just to hide for the public. In Japan, it's the other way around, mostly men are roping itself in a big rope just to be segregated from the public. So this makes her think of what's happening with people who would like to be secluded from the public.
Conceptualized by theatre director and choreographer Helena Waldman, this piece is an interpretation of her journey through Afghanistan and Japan. Stumbling upon similarities on either side of the border, Helena could see burqa bondage in both places. You've used very simple materials. You've mostly used ropes and you've used fabric. How easy or how difficult is it to work with props such as these and to make a whole story and 65 minutes of it in whole?
It's very complicated because the material itself, the parachute and the ropes and the cube, they have a special life. So they're like special performers by themselves. And so to learn to treat them in a good way without getting chaotic situations all the time is very difficult. So we had about 2 months for the rehearsals with the dancers. And before that, I was in Japan for workshops and also in Afghanistan. And I asked the participants to tell me about their lives, to give me the stories of their situation in the countries. And so they were the authors of the piece, and I took my language, my theatrical language, to build a piece out of that.
Loud drums interspersed with long silences told us the tale of devotion, love, hate, forgiveness, and restoration. But most of all, this piece pulled at your heartstrings, for its in-your-face depictions of many of the events in the war-torn regions of our world. One of the team members in Burqa Bondage, the drummer, who is an Iranian, was denied a visa to come to the country for this performance. It just goes to show us how hard-hitting reality really is. Now, Burqa Bondage travels around the country over the next couple of weeks. Time for a quick breather after this soul-stirring experience. I'll see you on the other side. Homemakers have it cut out hard as they compete for the title of Mrs. Homemaker.